Hi everyone, and welcome to another video of Linux for Absolutely Beginner. My name is Tia from DevOps Easy Learning, and today we'll be going through file and directory naming convention in Linux and also even in IT, right? Let's say if you are planning to move into IT, please, the way that you guys usually maybe name your file either on macOS if you are using the graphical user interface or Windows operating system, it is a little bit different, right? And I'm going to show you guys the difference if you are using Linux. Now, let us see a couple of examples here. Here, file naming convention. The file in Linux can be up to 256 characters. And I have seen, maybe I went through an interview and I asked this question to somebody and the person missed it, right? Do not be the one. Remember this. The file can be up to 256 characters long. And Windows hate this a little bit. And Linux doesn't have any issue with this. Let's say when your path is too long, in Windows, you have an issue, but in Linux, you will not have this issue. And we see it can contain a special character. It can contain a special character like /, you can have like underscore, you can have hyphen, right? It can also contain both uppercase and lowercase, but be careful, do not use uppercase. Why? Linux is case sensitive. When you use uppercase, what happens is that you might, let's say you start your file name with uppercase, you are giving work to people and also to yourself, because if you want to kind of do anything with that file, you need to use uppercase, right? And we can see here Linux is case sensitive, and you should not have a blank or a tab in between words, right? This is very, very important. You should not have a blank or a tab or any space in between words. Let's see if you type this in Linux, like file naming convention, what will happen here is that Linux is going to create one. The first will be called file, another will be called naming, another will be called convention, right? And you are thinking that you wanted to create a file called naming convention. In Windows, you can create a file called naming convention like this without any issue, and you open it. But in Linux, that is going to be 1, 2, 3 files. And if you are creating directories, that is going to be 1, 2, 3 directories, right? How can you resolve this issue in Linux? You need to make sure that you are using the proper way. For instance, here I have a couple of examples here. Let's say I want to create a file called or a directory called Alpha Website Development for COVID. Now I have 4 alternatives when it comes to IT or Linux. I can either separate all the words by underscore, or I can use hyphen, or I can basically start with capital A, that I don't use this one. Every single word, I start every single word with capital A. Or the one that I like is this one, because I start the first word here with lowercase. Why? As Linux is case sensitive, which means it is lowercase if you want to kind of navigate or change directory into this specific directory, or if this is a file and I want to open this file, I don't need to type the cap lock on my keyboard and press capital A before I can hit tab for auto completion, right? You just hit, like if you just type alpha here and you tap tab, autocomplete. But with this one, it is not really good. Why? Because you would every time need to make sure that you type capital A. But why typing capital A? Waste time, because you waste your time and type a lock cap and put capital A. But this one, somebody just type alpha here. By typing alpha, I'm going to type first before the person that is typing this one, isn't it? And that is why you should not use this one a lot. But you can use this one is good, this one is good, this one is good. And most of the time, right? Most of the time, 80% of the time, you guys will be seeing this tool, right? This tool here in Linux. Use underscore or hyphen, right? To separate all the words, Now, let us see this. Let us see exactly what will be the behavior here if we want to do this in Linux. Let me go ahead and kind of I'll clean my screen a little bit, and I'm going to copy this. I'm going to copy this and we'll use this one as little hands-on. If you copy this, let's say you have a Linux server. I'm going to connect to one of our Linux server, and we'll basically use that. Let me punch my password, and we'll use this one to kind of do a little hands-on, right? That means before you follow up, you should make sure that you have access to a Linux server. As you can see, there is nothing here. How do we create a directory in Linux? We use the command called mkdir, and when you type mkdir, you can go ahead and type the directory name. And let me go ahead and copy that. I want my directory name to be this. If you type this in Windows, this works, but check this out in Linux. You are thinking that you want to create a directory called Alpha Website Development for COVID-19. But when you hit enter, as you guys can see here, you have created Alpha one direct. This is one. This is another one, because if you type ls-l, which stands for long list, you guys can see that D in front of this basically means this file is a directory. This one, it is a directory. This one here, it is a directory. This is a directory. This is the directory, which means Linux basically created a directory called Alpha, another directory called website, another directory called development, another directory called for, and another directory called COVID, right? But how are you going to create this the proper way? You can either separate everything by hyphen, separate all the words by hyphen, another hyphen here, and another hyphen, here. And Linux is going to take this as a single words, right? If you hit enter, as you guys can see now, I have just one directory here. If I use a long list again, I have just one directory. This is D here, which stands for directories. Here, this is one single directory. Or you can go ahead and use this again. You can use underscore here, underscore, here, underscore, here, underscore, and underscore here to separate all the words. Now, if you type ls and use a long list format, you guys can see here we have another directory here, which is really nice, and Linux is going to take this as one word. Or you can go ahead and use this. You can create it like this. You can have capital C here and remove this, and here you have capital F. Oops, you have capital F for 4, and you remove the space here. Oops. And here you can go ahead and use capital D and remove the space here. And here you can go ahead and use W, remove a space here, and here you have alpha. If you hit enter and tap ls, tap ls and ls-l, which basically stand for long list. As you guys can see, this is total. And if you want to CD, if you just tap alpha, all right, and just say W, as you guys can see, auto completion, I was able to get that very easy, right? If you want to CD again, and so I can tap alpha, tap, and say underscore, tap, it will auto complete. As you guys can see, let me cancel that with Control C. And if you want to CD with the one that is hyphen, I just say alpha, and I can tap hyphen, tap, auto completion. This make your life easy, right, to navigate, because you are not going to type all these things, because as we are working within the bond, like the bash terminal, what happens is that it basically supports something called auto completion, right? That means you can start typing and you just go ahead and use auto completion. And let's check this out now. We can go ahead, and if we want to create this thing even on Windows, On Windows, if I can copy this also, right? And go to window here, and this is going to create a single folder. If you say new, and I want to create a folder and paste this. As you can see here, this is a single folder in Windows, a single folder, and that is the folder name. And this is the folder name. In Linux, it is something else. As you guys can see, Alpha website development for COVID. Windows take this as a single folder, and this is a folder name. But in Linux, guys, as you are going into Linux, make sure that you avoid this and use either hyphen or underscore to separate this. Please, that's it for this video. If you like this video, please let me know in the comment below, right? And also, if you have not yet subscribed to our YouTube channel, please go ahead and do so that you will be notified when we publish a new content. And also, if you have not yet and also, please do not forget to kind of follow us on social media such as Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, and so on. Thank you. Bye-bye.